between academia, industry, and skill development for employability. So this panel is specially designed for you all people, right? So I firstly welcome our moderator, Mr. Rajamani K. Mangalgi. He's already here, so please welcome him with your claps and energy. He's a visionary leader with over 12 years of experience in the development sector, impacting 20,000 plus rural and semi-urban youth through innovative skilling initiatives. As program director at Deshpande Foundation, he has spearheaded sustainable skilling programs across ITES, BFSI, electrical and mechanical sectors, achieving 90% of placements. He has forged strategic partnerships with over 400 plus colleges, CSR funders and industry leaders. An Acumen Fellow and CSR expert, Rajamani is passionate about employability, education and industry-aligned skill development, driving large-scale impact through strategic execution and collaboration. Rajamji, yes. I request our first panelist, Dr. Suresh H. Jangam Shetty, the Vice Chancellor of Haveli University from Haveli. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, sir. Sir, born on May 28, 1963 in Bijapur, Karnataka, is a renowned academic and visionary leader. He serves as the Vice Chancellor of Haveli University, bringing over 30 years of teaching and research experience in the fields of wind, solar energy systems, energy conservation, and power systems. He completed his Bachelor's of Engineering in Electrical Engineering from Karnataka University, Dharwad in 1985, followed by an M.Tech in Power Systems and PhD in Wind Energy Systems from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur in 1989 and 2000 respectively. How many students? Yes, so please give a big round of applause for the Chancellor from Haveli University. We have our next Vice Chancellor from Karnataka University, Dharwad, Dr. Jayashree S. She's an acting Vice Chancellor for Karnataka University, Dharwad. She's a distinguished academician, researcher, and speaker with over 35 years of teaching experience. She's a professor at the Department of Sociology of Karnataka University, Dharwad, specializing in women's studies, sociological theories, and demography. She has presented research at numerous national and international conferences, including in Canada and Thailand, and has guided over a dozen of PhD and MPhil scholars. Her extensive research, leadership in academia, and commitment to social development make her a highly respected voice in the field of sociology and skill development. So, let us all welcome our Vice Chancellor from Karnataka University, Dr. Jayashree S. We have a dynamic third panelist for today, the Vice Chancellor from Rani Chennamma University, Belgavi, Dr. C.M. Tyagaraja. Dr. C.M. Tyagaraja is a respected academician, administrator, and researcher with over 33 years of teaching experience. He has previously held key positions including Executive Director of Karnataka Vocational Training and Skill Development Corporation. He has authored 13 books, published over 58 research papers, and guided multiple PhD scholars. An expert in leadership, skill development, and business strategy. Dr. Tyagaraja has presented at international conferences in Dubai, Malaysia, and Jakarta. Recognized for his contributions to academia, industry, and society, he remains a passionate advocate for youth empowerment and education reform. Most welcome, sir, and let us all give a big round of applause. we have amidst us a very important person for you all, right? The Senior Manager, Talent Acquisition from Tech Mahindra, Ms. Neha Sharma. Neha Sharma is the Lead Manager of Talent Acquisition at Tech Mahindra, recruitment professional with 19 plus years of experience in hiring at all levels, volume, who support at leadership, expertise in skill-based hiring like analytics, automation and transformation, exposure to both on-site and offshore hiring. So let us all give a big round of applause to ourselves. Now we have the father of the program, the SkillPlus, Program Director at Deshpande Skilling. He's a dynamic leader, Ravi Chavan, he's a dynamic leader in education and skilling with over 12 years of experience in program management, strategic partnership and impact-driven skilling initiatives. As Program Director at Deshpande Foundation, he oversees large-scale job skilling programs across Karnataka, Telangana, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh, enhancing students' employability through industry-aligned training. An alumnus of IIM Bangalore, Ravi has successfully designed and implemented skilling models, collaborated with CSR partners, and led faculty development initiatives. His expertise in monitoring evaluation and stakeholder engagement has transformed thousands of students' careers, making him a key voice in the skilling and education system. So shall we give a big round of applause for all the panelists on the stage. Over to you, Rajat.
So thank you, Anisha, for such a nice and detailed introduction of each one. Yeah, it's an honor to moderate this session, very important session on bridging the gap, skilling, academia, and industry. Yeah, if I just would like to set the context for this panel session. India is the fastest growing country economically in the world, and India needs makers to make in India, and India would like to also to grow faster economically. To achieve 5 trillion economic growth, we need graduate, productive people. To do that, each one of us, academia, industry, and skill development has an important role to play. With that, so today we are here, just if I take up a statistic as CEO Nayak has covered better, like all India survey on higher education produced by MHRD says that every year there are 3.2 CR graduates are coming out, of which 1.927 is kind of a big number are from BA, BCom, BBA and BSc. And also there is an interesting report, and there are a lot of reports are coming on employability. If you look at that report, that says around 50% of the graduates are not employable. So it's nobody to blame in this. If you look at the whole scenario, as we all know, the job market is evolving rapidly, and also the many graduates are struggling to meet employer expectations. So today we will explore a collaborative approach and bridge to provide graduates important jobs for tomorrow. We should prepare for them tomorrow. And also our goal, the panel goal is to create actionable strategies to align education to employment by having industry there. So I am pleased to join with this esteemed panel experts. We have representative of academia, all 3 respected vice chancellors. We have demand side employers, and we have a skill development representative. Yeah, always we start anything begin end in mind. If you look at that, so we should always look at our education. What is the end in mind? Then we can start. So what I will do, so let's have Neha Sharma. We would like to start from you, because finally the education, what effort we are doing, it has to end somewhere else there. So for you, Can you just give your introduction remarks, that what emerging skill sets are employees seeking in graduate? So over to you.
Am I audible to everyone? Thank you so much for the opportunity and starting from me. While I know that I am on that side of business wherein I am on a lookout for people. But I don't know how many people are listening to me right now. And there's a reason why I'm asking this question. How's the Josh? Am I sir? Just a copy paste, huh? How's the Josh? Maybe I'll stand and ask. How's the Josh? It's still not high. Do you know why? Not because you don't have energy, because you are not in a comfortable environment. Not because of the infrastructure, but your within. You're not even confident about the fact that you're supposed to say, hi ma'am, it's hi ma'am. It's just a copy paste of the dialogue from the movie. Am I making sense? Am I making sense to everyone? Do you all understand Hindi? I can't speak Kannada. Is that funny? Okay, so the reason why I am starting with this is there are a lot of people who are not confident, and the major challenge that we face is the confidence level. And majority of it will be covered in a broad category of communication. I'm sure you will be able to agree to what I am trying to draw attention to. There are a lot of you who know a lot of things around academia. You're very good with what you have learned in your college, in the institutes, and the skill set development program. But you don't know how to express yourself. 20 years ago, I was like you. And honestly speaking, I did not excel as well in my academia. I am a postgraduate. I have done my MBA from Symbiosis. But I was not the top performer. I was like most of you. Not everybody makes the cut of 10% of top performers. Most of us are generally in the category of people who are average. I am one of them. Would you believe me? Yes, no, maybe? There are some saying no, but that's the truth. And I take a lot of pride in saying this. There was a time when my parents used to think, what will I do in my career? Will I be able to excel or not? And trust me, the key factor that made difference in my life is the way I communicate. The way I am able to capture the audience. The way I am able to make sure that people are listening to me. And that is all part of communication. So that's the major thing. Apart from communication, the other thing is that a lot of you do not know what are the opportunities available in the market. From a trend perspective, we have always seen that either we have to become engineers or doctors, or if we are left with no option, then teachers. No offense to teachers, but I'm saying that these are the broad categories of opportunities that I'm aware, that people are aware of. A lot of you do not even know what is ITES industry. Most of you know IT industry, right? Can someone help me understand what is IT? Can someone tell me what is Tech Mahindra doing? Or Infosys doing? Or what is ITES doing? No answers? Exactly what I'm talking about. Market knowledge. And when you know about the market trends and when you know how to research and use it for yourself, you become the actual self-dependent and self-reliable. We think self-dependent is all about taking care of ourselves, not asking for money. Money is the most important factor we think is about self-dependent, but it is not. It is about how you are able to make yourself up with the market. Are you able to follow the trend? Any answers for ITES? It's IT-enabled services. Lot of you might know it as BPO or a call center. Do you know what is a call center? You know call center, right? It has evolved to become an ITES industry. It has a better name, wherein we do not do only calling. We are also into people who are actually helping us in writing in different languages for our AI models. Can you imagine a call center giving such an opportunity? I was talking to a lot of leaders when we were having breakfast about it. Can you imagine a call center giving you an opportunity like this? So that's what I'm talking about, the market trend. Communication and market trend. And the last thing is coping mechanism. While you have been able to be in the environment of your parents, your teachers, your faculties who have been holding your hands all the time, now it's time to be dependent on you. Not from money perspective, but your own knowledge perspective, and how are you able to embrace the world that is there in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Neha, for starting up with a lot of energy and energizing our audience too. Yeah, we have heard employers saying about that we are lacking in confidence and having less awareness about the sectors, maybe ITS, BFSI, or it may be IT, anything. So that's, and again, professionalism and critical thinking, and also more than that, communication. So very interesting. Thank you so much for bringing that energy. Now we have heard from employers. Let's now go for the supply side where we have an academia representative. I request Dr. Suresh Janu Shetty sir, can you just talk about to meet the needs of the industry? Like, what are those important elements we should integrate in our university curriculum? Yes.
Hello, Namaskar. If we look from the university point of view, the demand for a university is that we have to provide effective and quality education to the students and a degree setting. The curriculum is based purely on giving overall holistic knowledge to the students. Now here I am heading on the public university, which runs arts, science and commerce. But I have my entire education based in engineering, and we have been working with practicals. Now when I look at the education of the arts, science, commerce, and when I look at the industry, now industry, how much they have framed, what is it that they want from a universities, I feel that is a gap. Now what is it that skill gaps they are ready to be filled by the university? Now this by practice or experiential learning, the faculty members do that. So when I look at this situation here, that is the skills that they want just now. Tech Mahindra lady mentioned, communication skills. Now I come from a most of a rural place. Now I am a vice chancellor. That's a different story. But right when I go back to my entire life, if I look at the communication, as look at got into science school Bijapur, and then some things changed. Now what about my colleagues who were there in the village, who were there in other tier 3 cities? They had the confidence in them, they had zeal, they had a urge to do something, but there was no orientation at that time. Now this is what is missing. that the children who come from these small areas, they miss that. How can it be provided? Then what did primary schools and high schools and PU colleges do? Is a big question. The question is being asked to the degree colleges. Now what about the primary? You are giving everything till they reach the degree and suddenly ask them, do you have these things? Now tier 1 cities, by default, the children are so fast. They are so fast, they speak so perfectly, and our students feel nervous. And this is experience from BS. So here, what is that we are in a race with? Whom are we trying to race with? Who is our competitor? If you look at all this, the entire pressure comes from the universities. Now, how do I convert my teachers? Because I always strongly believe in teachers. What is the government funding for primary, high school, and the college education for degree teachers, as well as creating such infrastructures and funding is nil or the least as compared to all the developed countries. But the entire country wants to race with the developed countries. We are forgetting what is it they are doing for the education. So in my view, suddenly changing curriculum, suddenly there will be a group of parents, why are you changing the syllabus? There will be a group of teachers, why this syllabus? So a lot of things are asked there. So we need to gear up. The industry should, in my view, industry sits and makes a statement that 15% are not employable. Where did these people learn from? They are learned from the same schools, same colleges, same institutes. Just because they join a corporate, a statement changes. I feel before making that statement, they should find out what is it they have joined hands in the government or with the community or with the services. That how much they have given back to change them. Then the change automatically will begin. This I strongly believe is number one. And as well, I have to mention to all here, see, there was a time in India, people in the villages donated lands for schools and colleges, remember? Right? Now, what we find Deshpande Foundation is doing is, now after they have gone and learned and made what they are giving back. Now they are donating it to the society in another form. So two things have happened which we should not forget. One is that donation from the people by heart has happened and Deshpande Foundation is doing it. Okay? Alright. I will pass on to the next speaker.
Yes, very interesting, sir. Very interesting. And what you have enlightened is that, curriculum is very important to be integrated as employers require. It's not only to have a curriculum change in the graduates, it has to start from the pyramid. So, bringing up both 360-degree points and also touching upon trainers' role and also touching upon the exposure for the rural and semi-urban students. Very interesting point you have brought up, sir. And yes, now my question is to Dr. Jayashree Madam. As you have come across 35 years of experience, you have done a lot of research and other things. Many leaders and also employers talks about there is a gap between academia and industry. So if I ask you that have you come across any best practices that you would like to share with our audience? I know being teacher excites to go on the stage, but I request you to just
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Especially young Turks. Anyway, this Deshpande skilling. Deshpande skilling. Skilling is present continuous tense. That is, skilling is going on. There will not be stoppage for skilling. And one after one, your skill will be enhanced. That name itself is Deshpande skilling. The other one is SkillPlus. SkillPlus means I have this skill today. Tomorrow my skill will be enhanced. now, I have to add more. This is the message. I don't know who has nomenclatured this, or this nomenclature itself is so attractive. H1 skilling and SkillPlus. Actually, I am very proud of this moment because all teachers, academicians, industrialists, and budding entrepreneurs and employable graduates are here. So my mistake, he has asked me a question, directly I come. Industry and academia, these two are polar opposites once upon a time. One is little rigid, academia is little rigid, structured, but industry is not. Industry is active, dynamic, and it embraces the changing scenario, changing ecosystem. So both are opposite once upon a time, now it is going together. There is a lot of paradigm shift occurring in education and in society also. What academia produces, what industry expects. There is a long gap. As a bridge, we have to come to a concrete and what you call the suggestions by the industry and academia. Both are here. And here, because of these two merging, industry and academia, there will be innovation. And here, I want to address students. Students are not empty vessels now. We were once upon a time empty vessels, but now students have got information. Through information, their knowledge has increased. And through knowledge, they have understood everything. But these two has already happened in academia. But only thing is application part through skill is a need of the hour. It is required now because in our university we have incubation center, we have MOUs, we have so many activities which are actually boosting the students for enter into industry. But sometimes we fail maybe because of our curricula, because our skill is not at the higher level. Sir has mentioned that in the primary level itself, we have to impart skill, not at the higher level. Higher level sometimes it is very difficult because when we see the statistics, South Korea has 96% of their workforce is skill oriented, and in Japan it is 80 something. But in India, we have only 2.3% skill force. Imagine this scenario is very bleak. Scenario is very bleak and deplorable because we are the number one in population and number one youth population we are having. There is a feminization of higher education. Women are now entering into higher education in a moving number. So in that case, there should be some kind of a bridge between these two, industry and academia should happen. Thank you very much for the patient listening.
Thank you. Very interestingly, you have covered. The role of industry and academia is not only enough, the role of students also is very important where they have to involve. For touching upon this point is very important. Now the question is to Dr. C.M. Tyagarajan sir, Vice Chancellor Rajasthan University. Now, if you look at the whole academia, looks like more on technical domain skills. But nowadays, after coming up 21st century skills, and also there are reports also talks about that after the disruption of AI in place, so the life skills are very much important. If I just name it, communication, critical thinking, and teamwork and flexibility. How do you integrate this into academic curriculum, and how do you think that this can be included in the skill development. So I request you to give your remarks on this, sir.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Once upon a time, universities were the creators of knowledge, but presently universities are the manufacturers of marks cards. Whatever that they are manufacturing is required or not, don't know, मालूम नहीं हम लोग को. Whatever the marks cards that you have in your hand, whether that passport, whether it's going to give you a safe land or a donkey route, I don't know. You know what is donkey route? So very interestingly, Deshpande Foundation has come forward to take this initiative. I wanted to reveal 3 secrets what we discussed in the morning first. Number 1, we wanted to conduct academic council and syndicate meetings here in Deshpande Foundation to make the policy making bodies understand what should happen in university, what industry needs today. If these policy making bodies are not going to understand, it will become both eyes blind. Number 2, we want to make all faculties to come here to understand what syllabus should be, what we have to teach in the classroom. That teaching in the classroom should become relevant to his life. Number 2. Number 3, all your subjects should have a component from the very beginning itself. 60 marks only is a theoretical or knowledge component. 40 marks should be skill component. You should work in a workbook, questioning, creativity, reasoning, logical thinking, analytics, technology. If they are not there, your degree is only a waste paper, not a really worthy paper for you. That's why, to share with you, in military schools, how do they teach? How do they teach? ಅವ್ರು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 10 ಸೈನಿಕರು ಕೂರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ತಗೋ ಬಂದೂಕು, ತೂಕ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀಯಾ, ಹಾಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀಯಾ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಸ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಿನಿಮಾ, private maxima ಕಾಲ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ. That's why skilling play a very crucial role today. I mean, your life is in private sector, private maxima, where your talent maxima, performance maxima, capacity maxima, speed, communication, technology is growing. If they are not there, really, we are going to stay back at Raiva, Indi, Mudebihar. You will not go to prominent metros. If you want to go, if you wish to go, language skills, technological skills, networking skills, value skills will become a very strong personality. All universities now is the right time to think and act. Once again, you have to become knowledge creators. Everyone cannot create knowledge. When you come to graduation level, you ಪದವಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಪಾಪ PUC ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಓದ್ರಿ ಬಂದ್ರಿ. ನಮ್ದು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತು, ಜನರಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು, ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್. ಇದು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕು, ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಬೇಕು, ಕಂಟೆಂಪರರಿ 2026 ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಓದಬೇಕು. ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಓದೋದು ಬಜೆಟ್ 2025 ಓದಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು 1960 ಬಜೆಟ್, ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಓದಬೇಕಾದ್ರು 2026 ಓದಬೇಕು, 25-20 ಓದಬೇಕು. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವುಗಳ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಗಳು, ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಇದೆ. ನಾಲೆಜ್ ನ ನೀವು ಪಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಶಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ಟೆ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಏನು ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ? 0. ಕನ್ನಡ MA ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನುಡಿ ಕಲ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಟೈಪಿಂಗ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ? ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು? ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಸೈಡ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಸೈಡ್, syllabus side, policy making side, marks card side, then we can go to demand. Our industry easy actually. One problem is there. Only one problem. Industry changes very fast. Cost cutting, remove that. Now syllabus na fast agi, cost cutting match ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ತೆಗಿಯಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆ AI ಬಂತು, BA ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, AI+ ಬಂತು, BCom ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಂತು MBBS ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೇನೋ ಬಂತು ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ತರ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಸ್ಟೀಫನ್ ಹಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ said, machine man is going to rule the planet. Cars without drivers. Machine man is going to rule the planet by 2100. We should be cautious. We should have a balanced mix of machines and man to march the planet forward, where the role of youth is very important. You are participatory, you have to participate, you have to learn, you have to work hard. You are in difficult times. You are in difficult times. आपका जिंदगी बहुत दिक्कत का समय में है, आसान नहीं है. पिताजी माताजी कुछ भी कमा सकता है अभी. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ನೀವೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಬುದ್ಧ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ನೀವೇ ಬೆಳಕು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕತ್ತಲಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಲು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವೇ ಸಾಕು. ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಲಿ.
Thank you so much, bringing so much humor to it, and also openly accepting, and also showing willingness to, yes, there is a need, there is a change in the curriculum. Yes, also there is a need of adding life skills into it, and also touching upon again AI and other things, and also saying that yes, despite having AI in place, the human requirement is required. And also he touched upon that very nicely by balancing machine and human. Very interesting concept. Thank you so much for bringing that. And also sharing that there is a scope for collaboration with industry to reach out to whatever the evolving is happening rapidly in the job market. So thank you so much for covering up that. Can we have a round last of students now? Yeah. So now we have heard employers and we also heard academia. Now academia and industry, there is a gap. Okay, there is a, instead of saying gap, can we say the bridge? We have an expert, Ravi Chauhan, who spent his more than 12 years and been part of training 20,000+ students and helping them to get jobs. And in that 85% students are from rural and semi-urban. Yeah, Mr. Ravi Chauhan. So now we have heard from academia and we have heard from industry. So that can you just tell us like how can skill development play a vital role to bridge that gap as a bridge? Okay.
Good morning, everyone. And I'm honored to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Lot of pointers when I heard all 3 or 4 of them. I think I would do very briefing on that in the interest of time. There are a lot of pointers covered by all 4 dignitaries. So, being a skilling person or coming from a development sector, looking at my experience, I would see skilling programs can be agile. There should be bridge between and employment. And most skilling program should be industry-led. And very important, Tagore sir was talking, and few action items he was talking, right? Like something, there is a gap between industry and the education. Yeah, there is a gap, we know that, but most important thing is we are talking about how we are going to sort those gaps, right? So first thing could be, how can people like us, not only Deshpande Educational Trust or many other people who sit to similar segment, can who have already developed a lot of good programs, skilling programs, and one very important thing we should understand, we technically our people might learn anywhere, but the most important job-ready skills are very difficult, which is communication, adaptability, which we call as big skills, and more importantly, having an awareness coming from BA, BCom, BSc, and accessibility to job opportunities, and platforms like Deshpande Foundation, who's connected to both the sides. These are academy supply and demand both sides, and our content, like something I mentioned, like something, those skilling programs should be developed based on the industry requirement. So people like us, we are playing a role. How can we develop a program which is short course where industry is getting involved a lot, where industry people are talking to academia and ensuring that relevance, as Tagas sir mentioned that lot of skills becomes like a irrelevant in this AI environment. So we have to be very careful and work together constantly to keep ourselves to very and updated to what really industry is looking, and based on that we can design a lot of short-term courses, integrated learning programs, lot of industries talking about apprenticeship, internship, and most importantly the students part. So teachers are the role model for all our students. So how can we create that awareness and the confidence to parents? Today morning, I was glad that parents were talking. They are open to share, send their kids to metro. So only Deshpande Foundation cannot do this, but having a partnership between academia, Deshpande Foundation, and demand side can really make sure that visiting young people are earning their job where they are coming out of from the college. To do that, already sir has mentioned one action item, all the universities, at least North Karnataka universities, we are creating a proof of concept now. So now we all are working together, that POC, proof of concept, we are able to develop. Now I am glad to hear from all the VCs over a breakfast also, and now also that our syndicate meetings are going to happen here, which means industry people are there. Neha and his team, which who's representing that fraternity, are there. So our courses are going to be upgraded, relevant, and people like having their vice chancellor like something. I have been working with them for last week 10 days. They are so open, like something. I'm grateful that we know the problem, we acknowledge the problem. Now how we are going to solve, we are talking on that. So these are my initial thoughts on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you so much for acknowledging and also identifying that yes, there is a role of skill development to match the job market which is evolving rapidly. Yes, there is a role to upskill, there is a role to again reskill. Thank you so much for touching upon those points. And also one more interesting point, what you have also shared, that the partnership. Can academia, industry, and skill development most collaborate on the specific skill sets and how that can be taken further? And also I see that willingness from each one of you, academia, employers, and university development are open. So I'm sure whatever we are discussing, this will really help. So now we have heard a good perspective about employers, academia, and skill development. Now I would like to allow audience to ask a few questions, and then I request you to whoever asking questions, so you can just answer. Yeah. So I request.
Good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Venkatesh Tobias, Associate Professor of Commerce, Government First Aid College, Davangere. I am very thankful to this foundation. Expectation of the industry and what we provided from the university, there's a huge gap. That gap is going to be bridged by this foundation. I appreciate their initiation. And my question to the other university vice chancellors: you have a board of studies, the highest body of education, it's the framing of syllabus. Why can't you inculcate all these skills into your syllabus as required by the BA, BCom, BSc students? Instead of studying students do these kind of SkillPlus programs. So we are ready to make them skillful in the colleges itself when the things are in the syllabus itself. Then you have the authority, power irutte, adhikar irutte, highest body anta karithina untu board of studies na ondsari syllabus frame ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಎಲ್ಲ ವೈಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನ ಆಯಾ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಇನ್ಕಲ್ಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ.
Thank you, sir. It's a very interesting question. So,
ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಥೆ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಫ್ 99 ಕಾರ್ಸ್. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಾರಿನ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ 10 ದಿವಸ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಲಾಭ ತುಂಬ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಈ ಊರಿನ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ 99 ಕಾರುಗಳನ್ನು ಉಚಿತವಾಗಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಬಡಪ್ಪ, 3 ರೂಪಾಯಿ. ಒಂದು ಎ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಎತ್ತರದ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರು ಇವರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಂಬರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಡೇಟಾ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಿ ಸಿ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರಿ 39 ಜನ ಕಾಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು, 99 ಹೋಯ್ತು. ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಎ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಕಾರೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದು ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಆ ಬಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದುಡ್ಡಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಂತ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಗೀಕ್ಸಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಡಿರೈಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ತಾವೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಸೆಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗಳು ತಾವು ನೆರಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಸ್ಕೂಟಿಂದ ಬೆಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ತುಂಬಾ ನೋವಿರೋದು ಬಾಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್. ಪಾಪ ಕಾರೋಡೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಚಟ, ಹೈವೇ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೈ ಕಾಲು ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಹಾಕಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಗ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಎನಿ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ವಿ ಏಮ್ ಅಟ್ has such reflections. We should be very cautious when we make policies. That too, when it comes to student community, all stakeholders should be responsible. A teacher should be responsible. Students should be responsible. Responsible citizenry is the need of the hour. If responsibility is not taken, India is not going to rise, my dear friends. India will rise when we take the responsibility. As long as you put for that responsibility or performance comes down, this industry rejects. Why? You have not taken that responsibility. Your marks card also, I said already, this is not the end of your life. You are important. What's the height of Burj Khalifa? 2,722 feet. 200 floors. We know where Shilpa Kundra stays. We know where Shah Rukh Khan stays. We Google who stays in 100 floors. What is the tariff when we go to Burj Khalifa to 116 floors? But we don't know what is the depth of Burj Khalifa. What is the depth of you? What is the depth of a teacher? What is the depth of industry today? When we understand this, we rise. That's why our syllabus making bodies, skill development bodies, teaching community, policy making bodies have to be involved urgently, emergency ward. We have to bring in ambulance to them to these such places. With harm, we. Because education is in danger. Higher education institutions are in danger. It is not Uppikada MBBS film. All the best.
Yeah. Yes, so thank you so much for answering this question. As you mentioned that yes, it is possible to inculcate all those.
The board of studies ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಟರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್. ಇದು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಅದು ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Thank you. Good question.
The board of studies already is made up of the senior most faculty of any universities. This is number one. There are also industry representation and there are also students representation. So they are all there inside that. But what is that it is required for training to be included in this curriculum? See, if we include curriculum and change syllabus, 80% of the teachers will say, I can't teach it.
Yes, sir. Because of severe faculty.
One minute. Please listen.
Yes.
That is why now henceforth, just like Deshpande Foundation has initiated this, if some of those who feel they can moderate and change that, that has to be, see, there are three people: policy makers, then educators, and the employees. Here, all three have to be kept in mind whenever something has to be changed. This part that is happening is like a fictional school. So now they are really giving what a student requires should be given by the teachers. Now that shall be taken care and it is being initiated.
Thank you so much for asking. Is there any question for our employers? Employers? Yeah, can somebody mark the mic?
Hello, sir.
Okay.
To begin with, very good
No,
morning.
introduce yourself, your name and which college, then you can question.
I'm Gayatri from KA Degree College, Kokak. To begin with, very good morning to all the dignitaries present over there. So my question is to Ravi Chavan, sir. So we all know how Deshpande skilling has hugely impacted on employability rate as well as the SkillPlus programs. Many students like us are able to earn their bread and butter through your SkillPlus programs. So, what are the forthcoming plans of yours to increase the employability rate, as well as what one should adapt skills to get into corporate world? Thank you.
Thank you for very important question. I think we have a history of Deshpande sitting around 50 years, and then we did around 20,000 people coming out from our various programs. We have a residential facility, and then for last 5 years we have been working in colleges, hundreds of colleges, largely in Karnataka and some part in Telangana and Andhra and Maharashtra. After 10 years, we did around 7,000-8,000 people, and we were so proud. Our team, we were so proud that we did a 10,000 graduation from skilling program, and we were happy, we were celebrating, and we have got our advisors. Like we have our Professor Sushil Vachani, who's our advisor, mentor, is like a brain of skilling for us, and he asked us a simple question. Do you have an understanding what is the size of the problem? What is the size of the problem? And then we started looking at size of the problem. The problem what we solved by delivering the program and creating an impact for 7,000-8,000 people in first 10 years. And we seen the large like something overall what is the requirement of this kind of program across India is big, large. When Nayakji was talking, he was mentioning all the numbers. So it's massive, right? Then we started, if we are continuing only doing from a residential program, this is limited. Everybody has to come Hubli. So what we did, we have taken our program to the colleges and we started operating. First 7,000-8,000 was not even created a dent on that, right? So for last 5 years, we have been working in the colleges and equally same program. We have taken our successful program to a college, and thanks to all the colleges, all the institutions who given us an opportunity to conduct our first 2 colleges to 100 colleges, right? But the most important thing is, even though we are operating in the colleges, what is our trainer-student ratio? Because here only I see 500 students, but this service is required for a large number of people like you who's pursuing final year. Hundreds of colleges, thousands of colleges are there, right? So what we are doing right now, we are going to deeply partner with universities and colleges where both the parties are having an equal responsibility of delivering the program on the college campus without compromising any quality in terms of training or in terms of placement, what we do, and the experience what we have heard from a lot of people here, right? So same thing we will be doing through our colleges, through different partners, through NGOs, and we will scale. And coming back to the very important ask is, what are the plans you are having? See, it's very important. We have been talking about industry and academia, and we are trying to at least to create a proof of concept at North Karnataka. And it's very important that all the leaders are here and they are acknowledging the problem. Now, when I say proof of concept, we would focus more on how to solve the problem. So a lot of action items are there where we would deeply involve industry into developing a curriculum, industry-led curriculum, where demand-driven curriculums are going to come. At the same time, few foundational skills, what we call as the 21st century skills: communication, computing, basic mathematics. And most importantly, somebody who comes from a smaller village or town, it's a big transformation for that individual when they go to the metro city, right? So that soft skill and metro skills and leadership skills, we will be continuing doing that. And then in future, we might focus on few other things. Right now, if you are saying in AI also, we are learning. Already we have integrated AI prompting into our course, little part of it. What required for BA become students. So it's very important, and you all are going to be the change maker, because we, including myself, we represent bottom of India, and we all bring in a transformation to us. If you want to see the change, then be the change, right? So if you are able to go through this program successfully, learn everything successfully, and bring that final outcome, it's a pride to your parents, it's a pride to the educational institute, and biggest stratified people would be like us who's doing. We do not want to scale like alone, like Deshpande Foundation. It's going to be a partnership, and we will be more focused. We will be introducing a lot of technology, a lot of employer side assessment to you to make you job ready, right? So our understanding is a lot of technical skills are there with our students. Knowledge is heavy. The job ready skills, what I mentioned, soft skills will be more focused, and those are the basic to get a job.
Yeah,
hopefully, I answered you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi, for touching upon an interesting point. If you want the change, be the change. So thank you. Yeah, one more final question from audience. Anybody for employers? So we have had now academia and skill development. If anybody have a question for employers, so I would be happy to. Yeah, if they don't, then I will be giving you. So can somebody pass the mic here?
I have one question.
Yeah.
Kuldeep from I have academician here, I have industry here. I work as a bridge in between. So I work for a placement. Okay. There is a request for the universities that there is a lot of complications in the certification. UCCMS certificate from the NEP, and some of the universities are providing in a DigiLocker. Some of the universities are providing in some other forms, and some are requesting to go to the university, get the signature and the seal. When it comes to the background verification from the industry, so many of the certificates are not accepted. These people have completed their graduation, they have successfully completed the interviews, they would be able to get the job, but at the end of the day, they could not get the offer letter because of this background verification issue. So, is there any possibility that the certificate could be in the uniformity, or any announcements or any notifications from the university that these are accepted in the DigiLocker university certificates are accepted and all those? So, these are the major issues that we have.
Yeah. Thank you. Hope that the question is clear. It's just about the KYC and the mass cards finishing on time.
This is a major issue. What you shared is really a major and paining issue. When our students go to the workplace, they are unable to enter inside because of this crisis which is happening because of technology. We really get added. UCMS software, DigiLocker, having server problems and student issues, wrong entries. Kannada ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹುಡುಗ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ಫೋಟೋ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ದ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಾಯಿ ಫೋಟೋ ಹಾಕಿದ, ಮುದ್ದಿನ ನಾಯಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ನೋಡಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಫನ್, ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ಲೇ, ಯಾವ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಬರೀತಿರೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಐಡಿ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಫೇಕ್ ಔಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಯಾವ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಹೇಳಿ? ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾರೆ. DigiLocker ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ if we are unable to serve our student community, that is the most paining day in our life. ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನೋವಿನ ದಿನ, ಸಾವಿನ ದಿನ ಯಾವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ಜಾಗ ತುಂಬಾ ನೋವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಸಮಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಬಂದು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಬಂದು, ಇದು ಶೇಮ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ, ಬಿ ಡಿಜಿಫೈಡ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಶಿಪ್. ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲಿಸಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರ, ಅವರು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ, ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರ, ಏನು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು, ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. These are all the big questions. These big questions, if you address first, your self is corrected, everything is automatically corrected.
Yeah.
The mistakes are happening because of those students who are coming in the last minute and troubling the system. So, you want to be the trouble students, we are helping you our best. All these issues are going to be sorted out, and we have sorted out majority. In Rani Cinema, by February 26, all marks cards of the class, all issues, no other pass backing. ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್, ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಆನಂದ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಕಾನ್ವೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ 9 ಕಾನ್ವೊಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವುದು ಇಲ್ಲ.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the Thank you for leading the example and also giving an awareness to our students to also to ahead towards that. So yeah, I request all volunteers and trainers and ideas that there are questions from each of the divisions, so you can collect those questions from them, then we will ensure that the questions are answered over email or WhatsApp. So final question from Nigel, then we would come back again to the panelists. Dear Nigel, over to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. So this question is again to the Vice Chancellors. If I just see the demand coming from the employers, there are so many job roles today, it says any degree. So the industry is not worried whether the candidate has done commerce, arts, science, BA. So the job specification says any degree. They want somebody who's gone through college. So is there a possibility, I want to ask you this, is there a possibility to create a different stream, which is not art, which is not commerce? Yeah, somebody who wants to do their master's in science will have to go through BSc and then MSc or BCom and then MCom. But if somebody is keen to start working after their 3 years in college, is there a possibility to create something which is different? It could be Bachelor of Job Skills, or is there a possibility to do something like that? Can the universities work on this? We could get the industry also to be part of it.
Yeah, thank you, Nigel. I request all the wishes to take up this with us, Sean.
Hello. I think so. NDP this provision was made, and when NDP was implemented in the country, the infrastructure side or readiness of the country was not seen, but it was implemented. But they felt that we all would get ourselves adjusted to that, and accordingly, most of the colleges and universities got adjusted. Now, few changes were made to that in our state. So, accordingly, as per the University Act, any degree can be introduced provided we have the Board of Studies approval, Academic Council approval and Syndicate approval. If for that, someone has to prepare all the details like curriculum, evaluation process, the students' criteria, eligibility criteria, everything has to be defined, including assessments and what are the backgrounds of the students. If it is made available and given to a university and passed, it can be done. But the thing is that people who do that, and also we should have a set of teachers who will teach that. Main thing is that anything that is new introduced, now nowadays we are mentioning AI. Now where are the people who will come and teach that AI? Who? Industry asks AI. 80% of industry is not ready for AI. This I will tell you. Is not ready for it. The employees, current employees, workers are not ready for AI, I will tell you. But what is AI? AI is nothing but our own alternate intelligence. They call it as artificial, I call it as alternate. Now can we bring that to art, science, commerce? Is the question. Technically fine. But art, science, commerce, how we can bring technology or give technology touch to this is required. But somebody has to sit and prepare the details. Just like the other day we had the Haveri district team meeting me. They were going to college. I told them make it common and bring to us. We will pass it on and see that everything is written clearly, it can be introduced. In my book as a VC, it can be introduced.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we will have a full answer.
So we have already POAs, industry list in our POAs, but it is a namesake. Industry rates are there in our board of studies, but they are all namesakes. Sometimes they never come on. This is what we are facing. In all the POAs, it is a mandatory that industry should be there. Since 2 years, we have introduced in Karnataka University. But our teachers only will be in the POAs and we prepare our syllabus. If industrialists are active, dynamic, they participate in our POAs, suggest some technicalities and what they need, what are their demands, if they put forward, and there is a provision for the professor of practice. If they apply for professor of practice, they can also come and teach. So in that case, UGC is very liberal. But in that case, we have to incorporate new syllabus in a BA, BSc, BCom, BCA and other. 50% should be a skill oriented, 50% should be a theoretical. It can have a solution for your question. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Yeah, before we conclude this session, now we are into the almost ending the conversation. So now just I would like to request each one of you, give one statement which helps to bridge academia, industry and skill development gap. What is that one actionable step you would like to take from this panel? So we have to hear it from in one statement, from each one of you, starting from Chandam Shetty sir.
Yeah, in my view, in my one statement is I would like to put it something like this. There should be an industry academia platform set up which would be constantly monitoring the academia progress or implementation of this. But this must be very seriously taking care of this, and it is essential. Industry academia platform for industry.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, sir.
There should be internship programs for every program, and networking should be there, and lifelong learning among teachers also, not only students. It should be a lifelong learning. Teachers should be, they are not reading nowadays. I should not give this statement, but I have seen and there in the university since 37 years. So teachers are not able to convince the students sometimes, because students read and come. They are not empty vessels. I always say that they are not empty vessels. So when students are well equipped, teachers should be well equipped, internships should be there, networking should be there, lifelong learning and both sides should be there. That is my message.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking briefly. Yeah, I request now, sir.
Hands on, heads on. Hands off, head off. Switch off. God bless.
Before one statement, just I have a question for you. That you have been here and
Finally, somebody is asking industry a question.
so you are here and see academia and skill development, and you have huge people, the ecosystem is here. And what do you see and and how do you play your role that to make this academia and again skill development to make it happen and we can meet your expectations? I would like to you to just give a remark of 2 to 3 minutes, then we can have one minute statement. Yeah.
No, so overall, whether it is 2-3 minutes or 1 minute, the only thing that I have observed so far is everyone is putting in a lot of effort. Whether it is university, academia, skills development, everyone is doing that. Even for that matter, the industry. However, the difference that I see is the students are not owning up their knowledge. They are not honing their skills. When I say honing up their skills, it is not the responsibility of your teachers, of your parents to push you to the world. You need to yourself understand whether you are ready or not. How many of you here, I believe the ones in the blues are the students, right? How many of you have retrospected what is in you already and what is it that you need to learn? Anyone? I was surprised to see that when the industry is here, none of the students asked a single question to the industry. It is not that I'm offended about it. I'm sad about the fact that they do not have confidence to ask questions to industry or even face industry. I am representing the industry here. That's why I'm bringing in this, parallel discussion. That you all are doing a lot, but how much are the students taking in is more important. And one most important thing is the parents' orientation. A lot of our parents, they do not know what their people are getting in. And honestly speaking, being a woman, I have another point to this is most women, I would say still 70% of women are studying well so that they can get married to a better man, to a better family. Lot of parents are still not helping the women or the girl's child understand that it is your knowledge that is important. Marriage is just a part of life. It is not the actual life. So, with the last statement as you asked for, retrospect, guys. The students at the back, especially the backbenchers, I was a backbencher once. I took time to learn. I took time to scale up myself, and that's why you see that probably I'm just a senior manager. By now, I should have been a CEO of the organization. But that's okay. Everybody has our own journey, and it is okay to fail. Just know how to cope up and how to face the world. And you will only be able to face the world if you are able to communicate. And it is not necessary that you need to be proficient in English. It is about your brain. Somebody put up the example, I believe it was Mr. Nayak, you said that degree is important and how are we coping up with bridging a gap between the industry and the university. Trust me guys, we are all also okay to hire 10+2 resources. I was talking to some of you and you might find it a repetition. I am hiring currently resources who are experts of maths, physics, chemistry, Hindi, English. As per the job description, we are supposed to hire PhDs and masters. As recruiters, we are bringing those business people on the same ground and telling them, you look at the brain and not the degree. Because there are a lot of potential resources, especially from tier 2, tier 3 colleges, who are not able to express themselves, but they have more brains than the tier 1 colleges. And this is my personal experience. So if you are able to communicate your brain out, it doesn't matter which college you belong to, and what background you come from, and which village you are from. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for touching upon the very interesting point. Yes, another reason.
So, Neha, would you be willing to participate if the universities and skilling get together, we need the employment time to?
Absolutely. I was speaking to Anisha. I told you already. I was speaking to Ravi as well while I was seated here. I would be more than glad, and like me, there are a lot of other people in the organization who are up for this.
That's a good sign.
And one more thing, sorry, I forgot this point. Mr. Tyagarajan was talking about taking up the responsibility. The most important part is, guys, you just need to be there. Just need to be there and don't be nervous. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Earlier I mentioned the size of the problem is very large, and today we have our leaders, not Karnataka, like a lot by these three universities. So we have our leaders, and we understand and we acknowledge what is the gap, right? And a lot of action items also we talk. So if you want me to give a statement, I would like to say partnership for the big.
Thank you so much for partnership for impact at scale. So that's what we are discussing today and tomorrow. Yes, I would like to conclude this panelist now, the panel session, by mentioning some takeaways what collectively we have discussed. Number one, I have seen the academia and industry must collaborate to design relevant curriculum. That I see one takeaway what we have seen. The second, if you look at from skill development programs are willing to show and focus on upskilling and reskilling by collaborating with academia and industry. That was the second takeaway what I collected here. And third is the soft skills are just as important as technical skills. So that was one more thing, and discussing about those important soft skills, and it shows that how much importance we are giving, which really helps students to earn their job and start earning. Then the technology integration into, like we talked about AI, we talked about disruption about AI, and we talked about balancing human and even machine. So that's a part we covered up all the thing. So we must move now from discussion to action. So I encourage all the stakeholders to engage, innovate, and create some sustainable action items and solutions which bridge the gap between industry, academia, and skilling. So with this, I am very thankful to each one of you, our esteemed panelists, and our engaged audience. And let's continue this conversation beyond today's session to drive real impact and skill development. So thank you so much for this session.